turn on the ground power.
Copy. Ground power is now on.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
Position, latitude, north, 241436. Enter. That's on there. East 054. Position, latitude 53543344. And what's there? Magnetic variation is east 2 1. And 2 degrees, yeah. Set that. This. So yeah, just experimenting at the minute. Pretty new to DCS. Bit of a step up from Microsoft Flight Simulator in many ways. Transmit, receive. Needs to go to INS ground. So that probably takes about 2.5 minutes. We've got a bit of time. Get other stuff sorted. Engine page. Right. So basically, we are escorting at B1B with 3 Harriers, all of different liveries. We've got 82 to 90s going on. Okay, right. Let's kill that. ATC. F1, request startup.
Uzi 1, request startup.
Uzi 1, cleared for startup.
Thanking you. Hydraulic pressure's coming up. Igniters are firing. B1B's off already.
Uzi 1, request taxi to runway.
We should catch him up pretty easily. We're quite quick. We're just going to follow him, not too close because I've got jet wake on. So I'll probably get knocked out of the sky.
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, ground power. Yeah, they've turned the ground power off. I always forget that.
Uzi 1, request takeoff.
Wait there. Nose wheel on. So yeah, this stream's just basically try and get the volume level sorted out. And a few other bits and pieces. Checklists are more of a guideline than I'm actually going to follow. Right up my chuff. I'm not going to mention what I forgot then. Damn it. Right. Too eager to get going as usual. Position. Takes about 2.5 minutes for this to kick in, and of course I decided to get going a little bit too early, so it's not fully set. 054 3344. And 2.1 now. That should be good for 2, so we'll set that. Magnetic variation east 2.1. We start on this a bit quick. I'll do a quick restart on that. Moved off too early. That's what testing is for. Ground power. But I'll leave the ground power off. Didn't need it. I'm going to be pretty quick. Wheel chocks remove.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
Stall mode. Nose wheel steering. Put some lights on. Interior lights. I bet that won't kick in until the engine kicks in now. I can get that going while we're setting this up, I think. Right, that's the engine kicked in already, so we should have power now. Data, aircraft, position, north 241436, enter, put the radios up, and then we need east. 054 3344. It rounds up apparently. Magnetic variation is east 2.1. Enter. Cool. Right now I need to leave that for 2.5 minutes.
OZ-1, request startup.
Whoops. Yeah, so the liveries I've picked 3 different eras of the Harrier. The third one over there is the earliest, then that's the Falklands version 82, and this one I think is the general, one of the early ones. Can't remember the year. Let's get some lights. So yeah, same as before, as we're doing, we're just going to escort this B1B up to the new airfield, which is up in the north. Go into the map, we're here. We are going all the way to this airfield up here, Kerman, which is up in the mountains. It should be a nice flight. It's just a tester really, just to get everything sorted volume wise and flight wise, because I've not done a lot with DCS or the Harrier. That's the Chinook taking off, I think. It's pretty loud outside. So yeah, I got a flight of 3 Harriers, just going to follow this B1B up to that airfield. There's no threats or anything on this this map. I just chunked it together yesterday for a bit of a flight today. How are we doing on that? So we're okay now. So I need to then switch that to FA. Cool, so we're good to go. So it knows where I am.
Uzi 1, request taxi to runway.
Uzi 1, clear to taxi to runway 13, pad 1.
Brake off. Brakes off. We're rolling. Nozzles are at 25 degrees so I don't burn a hole in me flaps. Just never good. So yeah, they're all cruising out with their canopies open, but I got mine shut because it's a bit loud, which is a volume issue I'll have to sort out. So I got the lights are on, the oxygen is now on. And keep clear of the back end of that thing because there will be turbulence. Yeah, jet wash is a good paint remover. In fact, if I just turn on forward looking. Right, so you're going to be using, you can turn the labels on and off on this. I'm trying to keep the labels off as much as possible, so I have to actually work for it. But the infrared I show you on here is it's getting returns off the wing of that B1B in front of me and the fuselage, so I'm going to be following the returns all the way up, which I don't know how to move that yet or use any of the weapon systems yet. So the master arm is staying off for now, although I will turn on the electronic countermeasures just for giggles. That's auto. Oh, up, yeah. Yeah, not far behind. Turn the pilot on. Just keep that out of the way when I'm starting up, just so I can get to the switches. Should be some Apaches flying about somewhere as well, whether they've gone over us already, I don't know. Yeah, still learning the systems. Everything works on this. So there's a hell of a lot to learn. I'm pretty much newbie level, and I will be for a good while on it. she loud?
Uzi 1, request takeoff.
Uzi 1, you are cleared for takeoff and ready. Climb 300 at QSE 29.87.
Let's go, Tonto. Should be a pretty short takeoff. I've not got a massive amount of fuel on. Yeah, right. So now the idea being is that I find this B1B and stay with it for a bit up to its airfield. There it is over there. So if I point the nose to that, I should start getting returns off of it pretty soon.
Flight, close formation.
3, roger. 2, roger.
So yeah, I'm going to be playing catch up until he turns north. It shouldn't be too much longer. He's doing 419. And I'm doing about 460. One, two's back there. picking up a lot of returns off the ground, but none from him yet.
Flight.
3, roger. 2, copy.
Yeah, peeling in behind me now. I think he's going to be climbing up to around 10,000 feet pretty soon. Right, I'm starting to get a return off of him, which is good. Or I can see him, but when he goes in the clouds I might lose him. Come on, catch up. Yeah, he's going to be doing the turn left now. Oh, I see him in the mirror. There you are. Hello. He's up in the cloud. He is off to my left at 8,000. So he's the same level, just off to my left. Oh, there he is. Go straight up to 10 and then he'll come up to meet us. Okay. Yeah, he'll probably be turning there and then climb into 10, I think. Clear the mountains. speed is he doing? 490. Heading 054 magnetic. Yeah, if I knew what I was doing, I could probably target him. He is back down here now. Ah, there he is down there. This may work well, he could come across us. Yeah, he's going to pull in behind us. I'm going to go out a little bit to the right and then pull back in. Slow down a bit. He's going to be following pretty much 050 for a bit, I think. No, what's he on now? He's on 008, so that's pretty much north. Yeah, it's easy enough to, well, not cheat, but turn on the, yeah, it's 3.3 miles off my left. .2. Yeah, we're going to converge just at number 4, and then we'll follow them. .220 feet above him. I was getting a bit of ice in then. A little bit. Yeah, we're going to go across the Gulf, up the coast a little bit here, across the Gulf, and then do a right to try and get through this gap in the mountains, or that 10,000 feet, probably go above it, and then do a nice long run into the airport there. Should clear the mountains pretty easily. Yeah, he's right on top of us. There he is. Hello. I found you. Excuse me. Turned away for 2 seconds and I thought I lost him there. Hidden right behind my freaking post. So he should be running at 10,000 feet. I'm 10,200, so we got 200 feet. Yeah. And about 20 feet between us. No, I lost him again. There he is. He is there somewhere. I think he might be doing his turn to the right now. Go over the Golf. I can't remember the name of these two. Golf of somewhere. So I'm just trying to get the volume level sorted out because it's quite a loud game, this one. I've got it turned down a fair bit. Have I got? There we go. So a little bit better, I suppose. Okay, so that's a good example there. If I can get him lined up. See, I'm picking up speckles from the radar returns from his wings, so I can follow that. I'll go through cloud, but it does mean I've got to be directly behind him, which is not exactly where I want to be, going into a cloud bank. He is. So yeah, it's just a simple mission I set up yesterday just to try and do a bit of a live stream on it. Screwed up the start with. Forgot the INS needed 2.5 minutes to align itself. So I had to restart quick, but other than that, it's not been too bad. Oh yeah, I found a new button yesterday because everything is mapped on this, so you need to set controls for everything. Oh, I'm a child, I'm an absolute child. Right, so where's he gone? He's down below me somewhere. Low and still in front. He is here. It's just off my nose to the left. There he is. Yeah, hovering in these is a bit of an art I've yet to learn. I can do the basics, but I've got I haven't got much fuel, but I'm running a few weapons and external tanks, which puts the weight up a hell of a lot. What am I running at the minute? 3300, total 66. Yeah, total 66, which they reckon it's a bit of a issue hovering with. So I'm going to need to burn off some fuel, or just dump the tanks off and the missiles. Yeah, I do have a targeting pod as well, but I've yet to read that part of the manual. So if I go back to here, I should have targeting pod, CCD. Which one it was now? Bring it out of standby, and I can slew that around. And I can target stuff from quite a long distance away for shoving mavericks down the throat of, but I don't know how to use that yet. That's just a copy of my HUD. That just shows you what I've got on board. I've got a targeting pod, 2 wing tanks, maverick, laser and infrared maverick, and 2 air-to-air. DMT, not sure what that is. That one is the map that's on the other screen. That's the forward-looking infrared that I've been using. Engine display, software confirmation for the aircraft, targeting pod, IFF, electronic warfare. That's just showing me what's around me if anything's being launched, which it isn't. And this, I've got emergency procedures, gear landing, eject and ditch, engine fault, fuel faults, brake issues, fire. So that's just an emergency checklist, which is more of a guideline to me at the minute. Same with the startup checklist. So we'll turn that to black hot, so I might see his jets. Whereabouts is he? So it's behind me now. See, too much chatting, not much concentration. do a slow 360.
Flight, go trail.
3, roger. 2, copy.
They've modelled the jet wake pretty well. Better. Yeah, they modelled the jet wake pretty well. So I flew through it just then. It chumped me all over the place. What I'll do is get to the airfield where this guy's going to get dropped off, and I'll re-arm with less fuel and nothing on there, and we'll try some hovery stuff. Oh, my vape just died. Hopefully I won't lose an engine doing this. Right through his jet wake. No, it wasn't as bad that time.
Flight, go line abreast.
3, copy. 2, roger.
Yeah, there it is. It's the jet wake. Jet wash, one of the two. So the runway should be over there somewhere. So we get them landed, get these pods off and lower the fuel a little bit, and we'll try some hovering. Which could be quite interesting. There you go. Oh, there you go. A bit of a blind spot behind that pillar. Where did the wingman go? Oh, he's got this. What are you doing back there, wingman? No. I've been pressing the wrong buttons. So yeah, it shouldn't be long now. We've got 1, 2 waypoints, and then it's the left turn in. Yeah. I'm going to do that again. Yeah, the next waypoint I'm going to get the 2 wingmen to return to base, and I'm going to carry on following this one in. So I'm not entirely sure how the whole landing thing works for wingmen. TC. Where is Kerman on the list? 7. Not close enough. In fact, what I'll do is I'll get rid of them now. First left turn and the next left turn is a pretty severe one, and then that's straight into the airport then. Just going to set this to radar altitude so I actually see still 4,000 feet up. Put in between that. We're doing on fuel 1600. That worked out quite well. I might be able to actually be able to do some hovery without having to jiggy around with the loads. You know that bloody mountain. You need to pull up, mate. Come on. Chop, chop. If he does, that's my fault. Entirely. He's good. Didn't anticipate this cloud layer though. It's very close to the mountain. Where did he go? Ah, there he is, behind me. What are you cautioning about? Actually, quite worried he's going to that mountain there. No. Right, well I've gone from being quite happy I've got not a lot of fuel to, oops, I've not got a lot of fuel. That should be right. Once you get over the mountains, it's pretty open, which is good. Could be a good little test area here, actually. I'm going to play some low level fuel, really. £2,000. Bingo at 1,000. Turning left pretty soon. Stretch. To be fair, I've cooked off a lot of fuel trying to keep up with this. It was either going to be the B52 or the B1 that we were going to follow. Originally it was going to be the B-52, which I think is a little bit slower. This thing does not hang about, so I've cooked a lot of fuel trying to keep up. It's just the autopilot coming off. Where did you go? You've gone up into the cloud again, haven't you? Yeah, he's off to the left in the cloud somewhere. There it is. 3 mile. $6,000 feet. Yeah, so I flew the Harrier quite a bit in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but this is a completely different bag of bananas. Everything on here works, including the weapon systems, and they're accurate to real world setups. You gotta know your stuff. In fact, at the moment I don't. Remember where I put it. So this is the Harrier guide. Goes through everything to do with the Harrier, all the weapon systems, how they work, all the warning, caution advisories. So yeah, so I'm slowly reading through that at a minute. Did I put delete that, that's the B17 one. There should be a guide in here somewhere for the Gazelle. Where I put that? Oh, I'll find that later. Continuous. Is he still on my nose? No, don't know where he's gone. Oh, he's above me. It was a little bit spatially disorientating then, because I was in the cloud bank and I couldn't see a lot of ground. He's up quite high for some reason. He needs to be coming down if he's landing. Mind you, I've got a fair way to go, I suppose. I'm going to go low level. Ooh. Yeah. I'm diverting airports. I don't know if I'm going to make... Yeah, okay. We're going to Giroft.
Uzi 1, inbound.
Yeah, We just hit bingo fuel, so I'm diverting to the closest.
Uzi 1, request navigation assistance.
Where are you? I do not want to be parking this in the desert. That's pretty much all I lose. Okay, bin, everything. One thing I keep doing is miscalculating the fuel. I'm down to 400 on each tank now, 700. And bring the speed right down, try and save some fuel. Do I have a flow rate on that speed? Fuel flow. Okay, so I'm going to set the next bingo at 100. Once that goes off, I'm landing in the desert, filling in a ton of paperwork. I'll leave the flaps off in the cruise setting for as long as possible. Where's the airport there? Is it a big one? Single strip, it'll do. 500 total now, 250 each tank. Why do I get a really sneaky feeling there's a mountain hidden behind that? Oh yeah, knew it. Okay, this isn't. Come on. Yeah, this isn't going to work. Keep that flow rate down. Don't be a mountain. Right, we're at 100. Help. Might make it. Yeah, it's going to be a one-time go there. Yeah, steady decrease. Options, turn that off. Hear what the engines are doing. Oof. Might just make this. As long as I can find the airport. There it is. Gonna dump the gear at the last minute.
Uzi 1, request landing.
Wait for it, wait for it. Okay, gear going down. V-stall. V-stall. 150. Literally landed with 0. Love it. That's going to conk out soon. Roll into parking. Go straight in and get the ground crew to give me some more go-go juice. Brake on. 11. That's 8. Rearm, reload. Get some fuel. hear that.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
She dead.
Chief, turn on the ground power.
Might not be able to get any here. This is a bit of a problem. Not got enough fuel for the APU either. Should still have enough for radio. Light. Green. Right, I'll restart that and we'll do some hovery stuff. Delete. Take up parking hot. Delete. So this is the Harrier. I spent most of yesterday downloading different paint schemes for it. So I got 3 of RAF from the Falklands era. That is the one I was running now, which is the pre-1982 livery. That's a fantasy one, which is a one for snowy times. This is a shark one. Switch it to UK. So that's a 2-tone basic. So that's from 87 to 95. RAF 1 squadron, 3 squadron. This is the Op Herrick livery that they had on them. That's a GR9. And the rest of them are US. So we'll go for, set it to USA and go for, where is it? Go for the shark one. Good shark one. Cool. Right, so I'm going to fly this. Fuel we want at about 20%. Any stores on? Right, so we should be up and running when we get in. Save that. So this is usually where I end up like a flaming crater in the ground. But we'll give it a go anyway. There is a maximum payload you can hover with, which is why I needed to lose a bit of fuel. So this is a US Marine based livery. Right, so V-stall, V-stall, I'm not going to need the extra water injection. So nose wheel steering is on. Formation lights are on. That's all good, that's all good. Put lights on. Right, so start. So up in the top right, this is the nozzle degree indicator. So obviously that is pull forward flight. That is landing and takeoff vertical, and then these ones act as a little bit of a brake assist because the nozzles go all, not all the way, but a good fair way forward. And that'll give me backward flight on there. I need to do that. So what I didn't realise was that the front two nozzles are cold air and the rear two nozzles, because they're behind the jet engine, are hot exhausts. So you learn something new every day. Okay, so part brake off. And good brake pressure. Nose wheel steering is on. Trying to get this settled into a hover is an absolute pig. Set the volume down a bit. So basically there's puffer jets all over this. There's two in the wing, I think one or two in the front of the nose, and then some in the tail that allow flight translation, that allow me to translate in yaw, pitch and roll with no airflow over the wings. I mean, once I get it settled into hover, it's not too bad, but it acts like a helicopter. If I've got my nose down, it wants to go forward. Give itself some airspeed. Oh. Apaches or gazelles? I think they're Apaches. Focus. So I'm pretty happy flying around in this. With carriers it's a little bit more difficult because you've got the carrier moving, the deck moving up and down a little bit, and when you get close to the ground you get ground effect, so it kind of sucks itself into the ground, which is something I haven't learned to anticipate yet. So yeah, I'm still learning hovering, as you can tell, because that's not exactly a hover. Right, slow you down. I think that is 2 Apaches over there, you know. Just going to say hello to the Apaches. Go, look, Mom, I can fly too. Chinook taking off. Yeah, he knows, he's got some sense, he's getting out of the way. Right, let's pick a spot to land and see if I can land on it. Okay, let's see if I can land down here.
Fuel low, right. Fuel low, right.
Okay.
Fuel low, left. Fuel low, left.
That kind of dictates the next part of the training exercise. Get down before the engines decide to cut out, which is never a good thing. Fuel management is not one of my strong points.
Altitude, altitude. Altitude, altitude. Altitude, altitude.
Come on. I'm trying to land this thing on a cone of air and it's not having it.
Altitude, fuel low, right. Fuel low, right.
No, 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 no,
Low,
no.
left. Fuel low, left.
There you go. That's because I left the bloody nose wheel steering on. Yeah, it folds itself under because the front wheel is a jockey wheel. With that switched on. Right, let's get some more fuel in. Ground crew. We want rearm, refuel. See if we can do it with 40 or 50% fuel. Might change the livery as well. Go winter. Oh, I've got a set one. 845.
Fuel low, right.
Request
Fuel
refueling.
low, right.
Request
Fuel
rearming.
low, left. Fuel low, left.
Copy.
Yeah, they should be able to do a hot refuel. They're not rearming anything, they're just refueling. There we go. Yeah, once I've learnt mid-air refueling, I get to use this. That is a whole new thing for me. And I'm probably going to need it with my fuel management skills. We'll wait for that to build up a bit of fuel. Yeah, so this is a massive learning curve from Flight Sim, which is good because I've burnt myself out on that game, about 3,000 hours worth, which is never good. This here is the H2O injection. This puts jets of water into the engine, which gives it an extra 500 to 600, I think £1,000 worth of thrust. So it's,
Refueling complete.
thank you. So that is helpful if you've got a lot of stuff under the wings. So that's in stall mode. That's on. Right, I'm going to get nose wheel steering back on again. Just so I can line myself up and then I'll turn it back off again, because that's what made the front wheel buckle. Try and fold underneath myself as I landed. A bit forward.
Hey, what are you doing? Unable to comply.
They obviously wanted to rearm as well for some reason, but there's nothing on there. Okay, so what I'll do now is just do a quick stoppie. Alright, have a message. Cheers, bro. Thank you very much. Yeah, you haven't obviously been watching my stream then. I managed to run out of fuel, although I didn't crash into anything, which is a good bonus for me. So leave the lights off, don't need any of that on. Okay, so what I'll do is we'll get the nozzles pointing down, we'll do a takeoff, and then we'll do a transition into normal forward flight, which is pretty much exactly what the Harrier is designed to do. To take off from very short, if 0 runway. Yeah, she's heavy. She is heavy.
Altitude, altitude.
I'll leave the gear down for now. Yeah, designed in the late 50s, early 60s, I believe, to counter the whole Cold War issue of losing all your runways within about 23 minutes. So this thing was designed and developed jointly by UK and America, and then later on I think Germany. So kind of counter that, where you could have an aircraft that could take off from a postage stamp, fly around, blow a load of stuff up, and then come back and land on a pretty well unprepared landing strip. And it stood the test of time. I think there's not many of them flying now, but they're still in use today, so that's a good life cycle. So if I bang this H2O in, that's going to give me some more power, but the water meter starts going down. Thames Water will be sending me a bill.
Caution, caution.
So right, transitioning to forward flight it's not hard, but it's not easy. It's a little bit tricky, so I'm going to give myself a little bit to start off with. Start building the speed up. So I need to do about 5 things at once. Bring the gear up. Bring that to auto. Switch to nav. So we're now doing about 200 knots with a 45-degree angle on the nozzles. I do like this paint scheme actually. So eventually you just translate all the way up to 0 nozzle forward flight. These are the Apaches out here. Let's see what they're up to. So yeah, procedures and stuff are a bit of a guideline at the minute. I'm not 100% following everything. Because I don't know everything. I'm doing what I can. is that? What is that on the ground? That might be the gazelles. What I might do is get the gazelle out in a minute. Show you that. Why does that look like that's going? That's a Chinook. He's doing low level all the way, isn't he? Right, so basically, this is where it usually all goes wrong. Transitioning back into hover. So we're going to swing the nozzles down a bit. Switch on
Caution.
the water injection. Stall. Nose wheel caster off. Put that into stall as well. Speed is coming down, but I should be able to control that with the nozzles pointing down.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
That's
Landing
gonna
gear.
help.
Landing gear.
Okay, so speed's coming down 100 knots. I want to land in that little bit of a compound there. I'm not going to try and fly with the Chinook or the Apaches, because I will end up crashing into them.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Level off.
Altitude.
Ground effects kicked in. Damn it.
Altitude. Altitude.
Come on. Come on.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Yeah. Woo! Parked. Don't look in the mirror. Do not look in the mirror.
Caution.
Shut down. A bit sharpish.
Caution. 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 Caution.
Yeah. So I killed that landing gear. That one looks okay. The center looks okay, but the nose wheel is... Well, at least I kept hold of it. Yeah, so basically transitioning into from hovering to normal flight isn't so bad, because you can bleed it in nicely. Going from hover to going from normal flight to hovering I can do, but it's the whole landing issue with hovering. Get a little bit of ground effects kick in and then I'm all over the place. So learny. And what we'll do, we get the gazelle out, I think. So we'll switch, delete that one. Where are you, gazelle? So take player, Take off from ground. Oh, no, parking. Take off from parking. There we go. So that'll all be up and running. So yeah, I got this one recently. Not got any liveries for it other than the ones that come with it. I shall be looking into getting a few more. So that's the Cypriot Air Force, French, because it's a French plane. Designed anyway. German generic black. Is that the Netherlands? Or am I being stupid? UK Army Air Corps. That's orange. Well, I need orange panels because they can find it. Set that to 50% fuel. And don't want to save. Right, mission planner. So comes with a, I'll put the air intake on because we are in the desert. It's got sand filter. Never actually seen them. I used to see these a lot flying around when I was in the army years ago, but never saw one with a sand filter on it. Want antennas. Don't need the smoke. Now deflector, which just puts the exhaust up as opposed to out the back. That'll do, I think. Yeah, so I've literally flown this for about 2.5 hours. Do that. Like that for now. Right. So this is the Gazelle. I am a bit of a fan of helicopters. There's a lot of controls that aren't mapped properly yet, because you have to set them up individual to each aircraft, and I've been mainly focusing on the Harrier, so we should just do our best. Just be a short flight and then I'll knock on the head, I expect. Literally got about 2 hours flying in this thing in DCS. So I have no clue what I'm doing. Play with some Apaches. Yeah, if you've just joined, welcome. You have missed out on me in the Harrier a little bit, stuffing it into the ground, trying to do the flight to hover to land transition and kind of miscalculating the ground effect. and stacking it into the ground, losing the front nose wheel and snapping the nose off. It's quite cool. Come here, Apaches. So yeah, as the all the planes in DCS come with a manual about 3 foot thick, and I'm on like page 20 at the minute. I haven't bothered learning any of the weapon systems on anything, because I figure flying it and landing it are probably more important than trying to shoot something down at the minute. Is that Chinook gone yet? Oh no, Chinook's still there. So yeah, I just kind of messed around yesterday and set up this mission with a few aircraft to fly over as I was powering up the Harrier. We escorted a Harrier, escorted a B1B right up north with 3 Harriers, which is quite cool. Did that bit alright. It was the trying to show off the vertical landing and takeoff bit which scuppered it. So yeah, I flew the Alouette 3 or 2, can't remember which one, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and this is a kind of not too dissimilar. I think they actually are linked in their design, the creators of them. Plus, I didn't want to go spending loads of money on an Apache when I didn't have the first clue what I was doing in a helicopter. So I had this one for a while. I bought it, oh Christ, about 2 years ago, and it just sat there in my hangar until recently. And as DCS has had a massive update and upgrade visually since I last played it, I'm back on it like a tramp on a sandwich. I know, helicopters. I've got literally one helicopter, the Harrier, the F-18, and that's about it at the minute. I nearly thought about getting the Chinook, but that's a bit of a big beast. In fact, I could probably do some more training in the Harrier, so I might do that. The sound in this game is spot on. Sound is better than my flying at the minute. Let's see if this rotor wash is modelled. I know the jet wash of that B1B was, it was chucking me around all over the place. Yeah, so he's going low level all the way down to that other airfield, escorted by 2 Apaches. Right, so I'm going to land this and go and get the Harrier out because I need some more training on that. It's quite easy to fly, this one. Obviously there's systems that I don't know yet, obviously with the weapons and this, that and the other. I'm using the hardest flight model they've got, which is quite a bit different to the kind of arcadey one. One thing I do like on this is that they model the ground effect quite well. Well, compared to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let's chuck her down here and we'll switch. Ground effect. Dunk. Yeah. Let's change to new plane. So I have the A10, which is the Flaming Cliffs version, which is the kind of taster cheapo job. The Harrier, two training jets. These are quite cool. Two different versions of that. C86F. Oh, that's the old jet. I've got the F18. Old Maverick job. That's not set up for views or anything yet, so I've left that alone. It's a nice plane, mind. Upload of course. Yeah, there we go. Top Gun Maverick. But the Harrier is what I am. I think L39. That's another little trainer. Spitfire. That's a whole bag of bananas to handle that thing. TF-51D. And that was the first one I got, which was just a little trainer. We'll go back to the Harrier because I want to RAF scheme, because why not? Keep that 100%. Switch to UK. This doesn't really matter, but this alters what I can take out on pylons. So, cancel. What do I have that set to? Take off from parking. Take off from ramp. There we go. Right. Bit of drinky. Needs to be set to player, doesn't it? Player. Does that change? Yes, I need to set that back to that one. So I'll probably do a quick startup on this, unless anyone's got any better ideas. So thank you, Mark, for your comments. I don't know if you're still there or not. Okay, so zoom out a bit. So ground crew. I want the chocks out.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
And I want the
Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
electric power
Chief,
on.
turn on the ground power.
Ground power.
Copy.
I'll tell you what I didn't do before was arm.
Ground power is now on.
Or did I? I don't remember arming that last flight. Oops. Oh, never mind. Right, so ground power's on, chocks are out. In fact, I think I probably made an airfix model of this with this paint scheme many years ago with my dad. And I think it's still upstairs in the roof. So turn the power on. ATC. Request startup.
Uzi 1, request startup.
Probably won't work, so I've got the radios on. Okay.
Uzi 1, request startup.
Uzi 1, cleared for startup.
Yeah. So it won't work unless I've got the radios switched on. So I've got chocks out, ground power on, battery is on. Nose wheel, sorry, not nose wheel, flaps system set to on, nose wheel steer is on, Dex is on, master fuel is on. Turn on some position lights so I know I'm starting. Some interior cabin lights. Get rid of that. Warm up the infrared camera. Set that to stall. So checklists are completely irrelevant to me at the minute. I'm just doing what I need to do to get the thing started. That is down. So we're gonna. I can hear that Chinook kicking off as well. Right, so I'll set that there for now. Zoom out a bit. Excuse me. So we want data, aircraft, position, north. 241437. Enter. That goes into there. Yep. So the next one we want is position easting 0543345. Now see, every other video I've seen online, there's decimal points and degree markings in there, but it doesn't do it on mine for some reason. Maybe they changed it. That's now in there, so that knows there and there where I am. Magnetic variation is east 2.1. Enter. That's set to 2. It will round it up a little bit. So the INS can now be set to align itself to the ground. That should take about 2.5 minutes. Turn on all this gubbins. Set that set. Don't need to worry about that just yet. So they have cleared me to start up, so I will do an engine crank. on, I think. Where's he about to go? So close the canopy. Igniters are firing. Throttle to idle. Switch on there because I'm going up. Probe heat and that's all up and running. Right, that's got about another minute to go. Engine page. Yeah, it's up and running. That's usually quite handy at night. Horizon on the backup. There. Radar altitude. Right, disconnect the fricking ground power. Let's get that. Boop.
Chief, turn off the ground power.
Copy.
He gets a bit of a
Ground
sad
power
on
is now off.
when I don't turn that off. Good. We've got an OK on there now, so I can put that to that. Right. ATC. I'm not going to go to the runway. I'm going to try and do a short takeoff.
Uzi 1, clear to taxi to runway 13, path 1.
Steering back on. I'm not going to like this. Auto navigation mode off. Knew I shouldn't have mapped that button. It's too much fun. don't have a camera watching me because you do not see what position I'm pulling to try and look backwards. It's might be a bit heavy for a full hover landing, but we'll give it a go. Oops. It does give a hell of a lot of thrust though. With them nozzles down. Alright, I need something roughly aircraft carrier length. A little bit of tarmac there might be good. Don't need an altitude warning, I have frickin' windows. So the water injection is on, giving me an extra couple of £1,000 of thrust. That should be enough until ground effect sucks me into the tarmac. Need to land with the brakes on. Yeah. I'd say this length of tarmac is probably about the same length as the deck of an aircraft carrier, although the width is probably only going to be from the edge to there. And then you've got the tower over here. It is doable, it's just trying to transition in to land on an aircraft carrier that's moving as well is a bit of a pain in the nuts, which is going to be the next thing I'm going to try and learn how to do. And then once I'm happy with flying around, then I'm going to start learning the weapon systems, so I can actually blow stuff up, which is kind of half the point of this Harrier in the first place. Yeah, so thanks to anyone that's been watching. I'm going to end it there. Please leave comments, good or bad, because I want to make these videos a bit better. I'm just kind of flying around having fun at the minute, but I will try and be getting into actual proper missions at some point and learning different systems and different aircraft. It's mainly going to be the Harrier. I might do a little bit of the Gazelle, and then later on I might transition to the Hornet and see how that goes. But for now I'm just going to dump the old fuel, switch that off. Yeah, I'm going to have to unbind that button. That's going to cause me problems. Okay, cheers. Thanks for everyone that watched. And I shall see you again soon, hopefully, once I've dug into the manual a bit more.